Alright, this is gonna be the last take. I've had probably 3 other takes before this since I couldn't really start things up too well. It's not helping me that it's 1:30 a.m., but hello everyone, this is Andrew Powell here for another devlog slash demo type of video. I decided to do this one a lot earlier than expected. The plan is to really release these once a week on typically Saturday or Sunday, but I decided to do this one earlier because the first one, the sound wasn't great. Should have gone back and listened to it over, but I really did not want to have to do a second take. In the first video, you basically couldn't hear my voice at all because the game sounds were far too loud. So in this build of the game, I heavily lowered down the volume, so it should be much easier to hear me. And at least in the beginning part, I won't be like playing anything. I mean, I can just get it started. The only reason why I started on the itch.io page is to demonstrate that, hey, the game is ported for browser play, and it's actually accessible by anyone. The main purpose, at least currently, for the browser port of the game is so that testers can play it or if you want to like show people pretty easily. And then eventually, this browser version of the game is going to it's going to evolve into the actual demo of the game. Um, in case it was too hard to understand, what I kind of briefly spoke about in the first video was kind of went over the reasons for basically starting up the project. I'm rewriting all the code from scratch. All like the sounds for the most part, the sounds and the animations and the graphics are going to remain the same. There might be some changes here and there, but that's stuff I want to keep. It's a lot of the systems that I had in place. I felt like were kind of poorly implemented, and one of the big things is I want to leverage more of Mono Game Extended. Speaking of leveraging useful tools, but in order to implement this app, implement this this web app, I'm actually using the what's it called the KNI I think the KNI platform of Mono Game, which includes the Blazor GL platform where you can build the game using WebAssembly. Really freaking cool. Since I didn't really have to do too many changes in order to get this to work on WebAssembly. Like the core game files are all the same. The biggest issue really comes down to getting Mono Game Extended to build with the platform. I did have to make a few changes, and unfortunately, you do have to build from source. But after a few hours, it does, it does work. So the only differences between this build, like apart from the fact that it's running a browser, the only newest like changes is I'm starting to implement the DAX systems, right? So one thing that I'm really trying to polish up is having a very configurable, very easily, very easily to deploy DAX system. Right now, obviously, only the knight's attacking, but when I start adding enemies, in fact, I'm gonna add a dummy enemy for the next video. It's gonna leverage like the same system. That way, it's more or less just kind of dropping things in and then um, giving enemies specific attacks. That's actually one nice advantage I find. Actually using an ECS like type system is that it really kind of forces you to think in terms of like systems rather than focusing too hard. Kind of so zooming in too much into like a single object. So that's coming along. I think for the next video, those are the things I want to demonstrate: the the attack system, and then like hit resolution. So what happens when you hit another target? Um, and what else am I planning? I actually have a list of things that I wanted to go over. Um, one thing that I haven't really demonstrated is that the game actually kind of lags a little bit when you first run it on the browser. I definitely need to do more preloading. Like the lag comes from the fact that the way that the code is written, it goes and fetch things from the server when it needs it. But that's kind of bad. I'll need to change that. I think that basically covers it. I did have plans to kind of talk about the full game plan. I do have like a game document written out for most of the things that I want, um, but I'll have to go over that a few times. Right now it's too late. Oh, one quick piece of news. So I'm still gonna try to get out the dev videos every week, but I actually have another project I need to be working on. I'm doing a talk on Coco TV. It's something completely unrelated to game dev, but I'll probably be posting a video of that, just going over like my presentation. I mean, I don't really use my YouTube for anything else, but um, yeah, I think that's about it. Hopefully, by the third or fourth devlog, I'm far more coherent than I am now. Maybe if I do these early in the day, that would most certainly help. But thanks for those who actually got to this end of the video, and I hope you guys have a very nice night. Adios.